All right, hello and welcome, folks. We are here live. This is episode 25 of Radio Reflex. This is the end of season two. Of course,
Mm.
talking about this bad boy here. It's all about that belt and who's going to win it. We will tell you the results later in the episode. But right now, of course, I am Ian. With me, as
And
always, is my
I'm
class.
and I'm Alan. And yeah, it is. It's not only our season, but in a way, this is actually a significant kind of I'm not sure of a phrase like turn of a tide um, for Flesh and Blood because we're moving out of the first two sets essentially. Well, if you get what I'm saying.
The completion of the first arc really is what Crucible of War is going to be, and so we had Alpha Print, and let me just bring this up for for a for a man who often turns up late to Hobby League. I find that very interesting that he brings that up. But good to see you, Cal. Nice to have you along.
To be fair, Kale is Kale our number one fan.
Possibly.
Perhaps,
Mate,
yeah,
well,
Kale.
there's Winway as well, but
Okay.
of course, I know Kale is going to be super excited to crack some packs later this week, as we are both. But yeah, so let's get into good housekeeping. What have you got for good housekeeping?
Oh well, to be honest, I mean, we talked about some stuff earlier today, but then I went for a long walk with my daughter for the last 2 hours, just trying to then realized I had 15 minutes to get back for the podcast. So everything's blanked out of my head. Probably first, just things to go over is if you haven't seen out there that the Road to Nationals, well, there was two Road to Nationals left after in New Zealand. There was two Road to Nationals left after the double weekend in Wellington. So obviously the COVID lockdown basically well, at the moment, cancelled the Mighty Ape event. So that's pretty unfortunate. And that won't run. Doesn't look like that'll run just because Mighty Ape needs to make sure they can run it at level 1. And at the moment, obviously, hopefully, we will be at level 1 soon. But they need to know. So fair enough for them. So yeah, that's a shame. The other one, though, the other announcement is, of course, the very last Road to Nationals, which was due this weekend for Card Merchant, is moving. If you haven't seen it,
Alan, I'm just gonna interrupt you there. It's
yeah.
not this weekend's was actually Nelson's, not Card Merchants.
Oh, it's next weekend.
Card Merchant was
Yeah,
next.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yep, forgive me. I got that wrong. Yeah, so Card Merchants was to be next weekend because it's in level 2. So that has now shifted. So check out the Card Merchant Facebook page. The details will all be up there.
Yeah, so that
Now,
is moved to the 19th of September, which is the weekend before Nationals. So
yeah.
that it gives people a little bit of time with Crucible, and also gives them a shot to get some reps in the week before Nationals. It'd be interesting though, because obviously being the week before Nationals, people aren't gonna necessarily want to spoil their secret sauce, but at the same time, getting some high level tournament play in is something that people might want to do with
Well,
decks.
it's one of the big things which is going to make it really interesting is the fact that regardless of wanting to show you, I mean, you need to come with a deck to win. You need to come with your best deck to win because, I mean, there's the cold foil heroes, there's the tunic playmats, there's a $500 appearance fee. There is the last, the card merchant one will be the last black envelope given out for the Road to Nats, and just with the craze, the significance of those cards. I don't think you can prepared. I don't think you can be prepared to nap. And one of the things I think is very important is the best players are probably just going to play the decks are going to play at nationals because, like, I feel we've got to a point where the best players can just outplay people.
We do. We
And
also have a huge spoiler about that event, don't we? The huge spoiler is Matt Rogers will not win that event. 100% guaranteed. Matt Rogers win that event.
That is very true. But can his partner in crime, Jacob Pearson, now storm to a victory? That's the question. If Jacob doesn't win it while Matt's away, I mean, what does that mean? And to be honest, I don't know who's going to be traveling for that event. Is it just going to be the Auckland crowd, Hamilton, Wellington?
For those who don't know, the reason we say it's 100% that Matt Rogers can't win that event is that Matt is going to be the head judge at Card Merchant, so he will not be playing. So not guaranteed a new champion because I'm sure Jacob will be definitely playing in there. But it is a good shot for a new champion of Rhodes too. And I guess also with Rhodes happening in Nelson this weekend, we will also have another guaranteed non-Jacob Pearson Matt Rogers winner, because with the travel restrictions, the Aucklanders won't be able to get to Nelson this weekend. So
but here's a question. Well, I was just going to say in introduction, what I should have said before, getting my dates and all that confused, is the one glowing light in this whole situation, of course, is that Adept Events, Marnie and Adept Events is going forward with their event. But the other question is, how sure are you that Jacob didn't leave Auckland before the lockdown and is like somewhere in seclusion in the South Island waiting for his moment?
I'm not sure about that at all, but
yeah. Would you put it past Jacob? Can anyone confirm? Has anyone seen Jacob since the lockdown?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the government is watching this podcast. So even though apparently, was it the Minister of Health was preparing for Blitz earlier in the week, as the headlines.
Yeah. Does he know which character is he playing? That's my question.
Probably the merchant.
Oh.
We will get
makes sense.
We will get into some spoilers. Well, nothing new, but we'll get into our thoughts on spoilers. Of course, we also had last weekend. We had another road to nets in Taiwan, which was the last one in Taiwan, I believe.
Yep. So Taiwan is done. So Dash took it out in the Taiwanese one. So there are now, I believe, 26 players that are top 8'd over the events over their season. They're already qualified for nationals. So what will be happening is, this is a good point just to clarify for people, is that the cutoff date for New Zealand and Taiwan is still the same. That hasn't changed. So obviously things is, if you're playing the card merchant event, your points will obviously not count because of the cutoff will already be done. Of course, if you are playing in the Adept events,
if you do win the invite, they still count.
Yeah, invite still thing. It's just that the points, won't matter for nationals. The Adept events one, obviously, any points gained down there, if you don't qualify, there's still the modifier on points. So yeah, if you're playing down at Nelson, you get the chance to rack up some more points before the cutoff date. So yeah, that is exactly the same date.
And if you're outside of Auckland and you go have a look at your ranking, your 90-day ranking, and you feel like you need to get some more XP to get into that top 100, get along to your local game store, get them to run on demand events, because you can still gain XP that way within the 90 days. And if you've got the ability to play in person in a store, I would say do it, because I know that is something that we have both been missing over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, let me segue into a reminder. If you are in Auckland and you want to get some points, remember, Play Anywhere is available. You can set up your own events through your through the gem service, through your player ID. You can get a bunch of mates together. You can do it over TTS. You can do it through a webcam.
As long as it's under 10.
Oh, no, just do it over TTS, do it over webcam. Yeah. I mean, teach your wife/daughter to play.
If you have got a small testing group and you guys are happy with being in each other's bubbles, that is fine too. I think me and Alan might try at some point after Sunday to get together and play some Blitz and maybe record it. We'll talk more about that because obviously we have season 3 coming up of our challenge. But yeah, definitely, as you said, the Play Anywhere that is up and running. If you got to get some more XP to qualified, get and some games. So playing everything's got done. Oh no, there we are, back again. Um, all right, yeah. So as I said, with the new Crucible getting cracked, you should be playing games anyway. So you may as well make them count.
Yeah, no, definitely. So,
Are you there, Alan, or are you frozen?
yeah, no, you're I'm here. You're frozen. No, you're frozen. Do you want to build a snowman?
All right. All right.
Okay, so I just think, what's the last thing on our
All right. Well,
good housekeeping?
I'm not sure.
All right, you're back. You're back, Iain. Am I back?
All right. Yes. Yeah. 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 No, I think the last thing is I just want to give a shout out to all the content creators who have done spoilers, whether it be articles or videos or live streaming. There's been some amazing work done with the previews. Of course, did Summer Art, always great with the lore videos. He had a great preview. We've seen some interesting ways of previewing cards. I've got to admit that Aaron Newson,
Was it Jesse? Jesse?
The basketball one was super annoying because I was trying to watch it on my phone. I was like, I just want to see the damn card.
Yeah.
Creativity is all well and good. Just show me the damn card.
Yeah, no, I really like Jesse and Aaron's one. That was very cool. Yeah, a lot of people found new ways to bring the spoiler season. Well, everyone's upping their game, which is something we'll talk about after we get. We'll talk about a little bit later on about us and about that in Radio Reflex. But yeah, my shout out is to all the new podcasts that are cropping up. Obviously, Session Blood is really good. So shout out to Kieran and Carol. Really enjoying their episodes because they do something that unfortunately we're not equipped. I'm not equipped to do that level. We're going to talk about how we enjoy the game, how we like to play the game, but they're on another level, and obviously their results. If you don't believe what they're saying, just check out Kieran and Carol's results over their fab careers, which are less than a year old. Essentially,
everyone's fab career is less than a year old. To be fair, Alan.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I don't know. James, Chris, Jason. Theirs is a bit longer.
Are the people who invented the game?
Yeah. So we got some catching up to do. But I mean, yeah. Their careers for this year, as it were, has been fantastic. So, but yeah, I've seen a bunch of podcasts pop up. I think there's one called the Attack Action podcast. So yeah, at the moment I've just got to try and scramble and try and check out a bunch of them. Outcasts Haven have been doing some good stuff. And Midian Guard.
Yeah, and if you are casting again, we'll talk a little bit later about what we want to do in the future with Radio Reflex. But definitely hit up our Facebook page and put a link to your podcasts and stuff. We are happy to share that. We want to know about it. We want to have a listen ourselves. So don't feel like you're stepping on anyone's toes by pimping your podcast out on our page. We are more than happy to share the love.
Yeah, if we can bring any new viewers / listeners to your podcast, we're happy because we're doing it for the love of community. I'm sure the big dollars will flow in later on for us, but at the moment it's all about the community. So we're happy to help, and hopefully people also tell others about our cast as well. And just there's such an influx of players at the moment that people what's the phrase? People are thirsty for fab knowledge. Even ours.
Yeah. even hours.
Yeah.
All right, so let's what's that going to lead us on to, Alan?
Well, let's. I thought that we could just go over, not too in depth, but just like pick out our favorite spoilers, because I think pretty much everything's wrapped up. I mean, there's probably a few surprises left from the studio, hopefully, but I think a lot of the
Yeah,
set is out. So, do you want to try and hit up
I think
your favorites?
I think I think the key card that hasn't been spoiled yet is the legendary hero, the shapeshifter, which I am really looking forward to. I'm just pulling up at the moment. Now, talking about content creators, I am a big fan of Team Covenant, and I actually had a fair hand on getting them involved in Flesh and Blood, and so I'm super happy to see them in there and playing. Now, if you didn't see their cast this morning, they oh boy, it was fun. So Legend Story Studios actually sent them out some pre-made blitz decks of four of the young heroes that are coming out in the new set, and man, it just inspired me. I'm like, I can't wait to get my hands on the new brute hero, KO, or however you
KO.
want to pronounce it.
You mean
But
Kevin Owens?
he yeah, that's right. It's definitely going to be the KO show
Yeah.
is going to be the deck that I'm building. Again, if you haven't seen it, as I said, I'm just pulling it up because I don't want to read it wrong for people. So let me just quickly pull uh, up the card. But the cool thing about him is that he starts with 19 health, which is interesting because other than against Kano, that means you start off and your Scar versus Scar is already online. Your life for a life, your Scar versus Scar, all that advantage is get go. So you can win the dice roll, play Scar for a Scar on first turn before they've taken any damage, and it's pretty exciting. Let me just read his ability. So Berserker Runt it's KO or KO, this depending on how you say it. Berserker Runt, which he reminds me of Wild Child, who from Age of Apocalypse, who used to be sort of on a leash, held by Sabretooth. So if you think of Rhino like Sabretooth and KO like Wild Child, I think that's quite a nice reference. But anyway, it says whenever you play an attack action card with a 6 or higher base attack, roll the d6. On a 1 through 4, the half the base attack of that attack rounded down. On a 5 or a 6, double it. Now that's exciting to me. I don't know about you, but man, that has got me. I mean, I
Oh,
love rolling twice. There's some great one of the cards in the pre-made blitz deck that they sent out Team Covenant is one of my personal favorite cards. Is of course Demolition Crew, which a 12 dominate Demolition Crew, sign me up, man.
yeah.
Here comes the X, here comes the Smasher. Of course, swinging with those mandible claws, but what it does bring up is it makes sense of some of the other cards that was spoiled a little earlier in the brute line, because the one that when I saw it I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. It was that it's the red line. Let me get the name of it. What was it called? Swing fist, think later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the red line is 4 attack, 3 damage, and it says as an additional cost to swing fist, think later, discard a random card, go again. Now, initially I was like, that's really weird that it's not a 6 cost because that's generally what we've seen the random discard on. But it makes sense for the KO build because again, it's an attack that you don't have to roll the d6 for. so it's not going to harm it. It's still a 4, which is generally either a defense reaction out of their hand or 2 cards to block. It gives you go again. Plus, with the random discard, you should, if you've built your hand right, it should discard out a 6 cost attack, which then turns on your mandible claws to give them go again. And so it actually makes for some really interesting turns. So yeah,
Well,
I am looking forward to not just making classic constructed brute, but
yeah.
this new brute hero.
Yeah, well, otherwise, think about there's other 2 cards that are going to be important for these builds, and one of them is another is a Majestic, which is Beast Within. So Beast Within is a 3 cost. Sorry.
Just art wise, what a beautiful card.
Oh yeah. I've a few people have said. I think you said to me like, got to get this in foil. Got to get this card in foil. I mean, it's going to look stunning. But like Beast Within, it's a yellow line, 3 cost attack. 3 cost, 6 power, 3 defense. If Beast Within is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the combat chain, banish the top card of your deck and lose 1 life. If it has 6 or more power, put it in your hand. Otherwise, repeat this process. So if you think about discarding this, I mean, this card is a discard. This is to discard, basically, because I'd hate to actually play it because it's just essentially a vanilla 6 power attack. But just imagine off discarding this. And the other card you didn't mention, but
even better with that, not even just discarding it. What I really like about this card is setting it up on a turn that you think they're going to command and conquer you, because they command and conquer you, and it sets off. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that application. And of course, the final card is, of course, one of the earliest spoilers was is Gambler's Glove.
Oh,
so that gives you second chance KO, basically.
Yeah, and that is going to be big, and again, not for everyone. Like if you're the sort of person who grits their teeth every time they roll a scab skin leaders, this is probably not the deck that this is probably not the deck for you. This is you're gonna have a little gamble in you. You got if you're not rolling dice, why are you playing brute?
There is a type of player which both you and me are part of. So they're just gonna play KO because one, it'd be cool to get a Kevin Owens altar of that card at some point. But it's just I don't know. Hopefully we're just having fun no matter what happens. So I mean, one of the reasons for a game like Hearthstone, I used to play a lot of Hearthstone, and people complain about the RNG, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's rainy weather, it doesn't smile on you. But those times with that RNG, just when you get your Demolition Crew double D, and you're going to be punching the sky.
You can't have the massive highs without the risk of the awful lows, right?
Yeah. So we're dice rolling junkies. We just need a hit. We need that hit Ian, regardless of the consequences.
Absolutely. So what else has stood out for you?
Okay. Well, I've got a weird couple of 3 cards that I kind of want to. Well, actually, almost 4 cards that I just kind of want to mention. Not because of the card themselves. I mean, the cards are cool, but just because I really appreciate what the creative team has done with them. So the cards I'm thinking of are. Sorry, I'm just refreshing my the spoiler here. I'm bringing it down. So the cards I'm thinking of are Talishar the Lost Prince, Sutcliffe's Research Notes. There's sorry, I'm getting the name wrong because I'm not looking at it. Tolverson's Workshop. If I could just find it. Yeah, Sutcliffe's Research Notes. Yes, here we go. Sorry, Tekloverson's. I need somebody to pronounce it for me properly. Tekloverson's Workshop. Now the reason I pull those cards together is just because Flesh and Blood is, the idea is that, you're facing down the brute, you're the warrior, you guys are eye to eye smashing each other. But these just bring another little dimension, and certainly a really powerful story dimension with just cards. There's cards of somebody's workshop, Sutcliffe's, his workshop and his notes. the tech was in the workshop, and like if you look into the art, there's so much depth. There's so many things. Like I love the whole thing with the lost the Talishava, the lost weapon, just sitting in like an antique store,
Yeah.
waiting to be found for somebody to notice it. And the other one that also kind of is not quite the same, but is Heron's Flight, because you've just got this beautiful shot of the heron coming down through the mountains, and you've got your brute attacks, you've got your doot, taking off somebody's head and stuff like that. But then you've got these kind of quieter story-driven cards, and I'm going to appreciate every time I get to play it, especially like herons. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That the artwork is. I mean, I've always loved the artwork that Flesh and Blood has brought, and it's just getting more and more dynamic. We're seeing, especially in this, there's a lot more landscapes, and it's the world building artwork in a lot of these cards, which I think is really cool. Again,
Yeah.
the new characters. Well, there's some brutal. Yeah, some very brutal cards. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
the card that the development team spoiled today on the website.
I
Uh,
did. I did.
man,
It's eye catching, that card.
man, yeah, like
Yes.
and
Snag.
how cool is that snag? And also this is what I also love about how each set expands the world out, because again, here in the review they talk about the butcher. Uh, of course, this is the first time we've seen him. He's not a character that we're getting in the set, but this is the first glimpse we've seen of him. I'm sure going forward we are going to see more of him, and just
Yeah.
amazing. There's artwork for everyone in this, and also what a
Yeah.
brutal card that is. If you haven't seen it, it's in the article. It's Snag. It's a majestic, and it's a blue. Pitches for 3, costs 0, um, and it is a generic instant. Which I think this is going to be a card much like Remembrance that sees a lot of play in a lot of decks, and it reads: attack action cards can't gain attack from their own effects or effects from attack reaction cards this turn. So, wow. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
But just remember, as an instant, it has no defense value as well, so
that
that's
is
pretty
right. That is
significant.
right. But it does pitch. It does pitch for 3. Yeah, like late game, you don't want to get caught in your hand if you really need some defense. But in saying that, it kind of does defend, depending on the matchup, because like if you're playing against Ninja, that's going to turn off the combo line bonuses. It's going to turn off the likes of your Razor Reflexes, your ancestral empowerments. I mean, against warrior, you can turn off the reprise effects of a lot of these cards, because you don't have to worry about the Iron Song responses. You don't have to worry about the singing steel blades, and like that. So, or the tricks where people are trying to pummel, as they said in the article, the classic command and conquer with a pummel, or
Yeah.
Goliath gauntlets. Command and conquer. Oh no, sorry, Goliath
No,
gauntlets
Goliath Gauntlets gets
it
around
does
it.
get around it, but yeah, no, the
You
pummel.
can't snag a gauntlet apparently.
Yeah, so you can't snag a gauntlet. But yeah, no,
Um,
again, just so excited about actually getting some packs and cracking them. Obviously, Brute and Ranger are really exciting me. These are anyone who knows me. These are classes that I hold very close to me, and I like to play. I'm not sure about traps. I am undecided on whether or not. I think you're going to have to change your build. Like, I think of all the classes, Ranger feels like it's a new way to build Ranger, as opposed to
yeah.
cards to help out current builds, which a lot of the other decks are sort of getting improvements. Whereas I feel like Ranger has just got a different play style, is what the cards are bringing. And
Well,
we'll wait and
Slightly
see.
off topic, but also on topic. There was the Unplugged Games in Lismore in Australia was able to run. They ran their own kind of own store championships, and through 6 rounds, Ranger came out the top with a very interesting list that was very much a kind of go wide.
Yeah, it's very much. You know what it actually, when I looked at it, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me very much of a local player, Luke Badger's No Brute Brute
Hmm.
deck, almost of
Well, if
the
I
gold.
remember it, it actually ran very few arrows in the deck.
Yeah,
If I think it's something around like 11 arrows. So makes me wonder about how traps in a lot of these new Ranger cards. Could Ranger be kind of like I'll use this. This is a non-fab term, but could you have Ranger being the hate bear deck? I won't go into where that comes from, but like basically a deck that kind of it's not only trying to do damage, but it's actually actively trying to proactively disrupt the opponent's game plan through cards like things like Snag. I think he was running Chains of Eminence as well, which is really cool because that's a card that I really like the look of, but just hasn't seen any play in the WTR Arc meta at the moment.
well, I think some people have looked at it and they're waiting to play it. Just a quick question here from Britt Rogers. Does Snag affect weapons? No, it says attack action cards and attack reaction uh, cards. So it is only cards. It's not the weapons themselves.
Yeah.
Or
So um,
also team count. I really like the artwork. Has got a bit darker and Crucible. Really living up to the title of Flesh and Blood. Yeah. Like I mean, of course, definitely a lot darker than, of course, that headshot and hamstring shot from
yeah. Well,
the fluffy bunny ranger cards from the last. No,
well,
but
no.
I
What?
but
what
there definitely is a darker vibe to a lot of it, and I think and it really nicely brings into that we're getting into the actual war of that's happening in race, which is what this
yeah.
is supposed to be
Yeah.
about.
So things already. I suppose the other major thing to talk about is the Fabled card that was
Yeah,
spoiled on Alpha Investments. Rudy opened his box and it was Shard of the Arc Knight, which is pretty exciting. Being somebody, I mean, I think a lot of people have been saying, "Wow, time to take another look at Viserai," just through the previous spoilers. But now you
yeah,
have a resource card that also works so perfectly of a strategy, just creating a rune chant when you pitch it.
yeah.
Um,
It's interesting. Like, and I see a lot of discussion about having a non-generic fable card, and I think this is I think this is something that we will see going forward because I mean you can't like they just become too important if they're always generics. And
hmm,
while they're supposed to that the whole idea of the fable cards were not to be must cards for playability. They were more for the collectors. They're more to give a cool thing that does help, but isn't necessarily game breaking. Because again, they are fabled. They are harder to get. Uh, there is a sense of excitement when you pull one. And it is for
I
the
don't know,
collector.
Ian. I've never felt that excitement of opening one
Some of us
yet.
had. Some of us had.
One day, I've had the
I
excitement
mean,
of purchasing one.
you own a heart, and I don't. So I'm
Yeah,
not.
so it's one each at the moment. So the deal breaker is who pulls the shard first of all. But one of
Yeah,
the other things is this
a
this
higher
card
heart.
is this card is important story wise. But hopefully down the line we're going to be able to get some of the development team hopefully on the cast to answer some questions. So probably maybe we won't go so much into that stuff, but it's also an important story card. Um,
Oh,
uh, you know,
absolutely. And,
yeah,
and,
it's not just
I think again, this is what uh LSS is doing so well is that they are bringing the world to life as well as putting out a compelling card game.
Hmm.
And I think that's really that's something that really excites me. I mean, obviously, having worked for the company before, and you know, worked with people like Nikki and MJ and that like that. I'm always excited to see what they're bringing to the game because again, spoiler season. I've been just another member of the public. I haven't seen any of these cards before, so it's been exciting for me to be on this side of it again, like I was for the original set. And yeah, I'm just really I'm itching to get some packs and crack some packs and see what my box brings.
Yeah, well, hopefully, as we haven't discussed this yet, but maybe somehow, while socially distanced, maybe this Friday we can we need to crack your victory packs for winning last cast's NXT Takeover predictions, which you romped home on me. So Ian's got 4 sweet packs.
Yeah,
Well, 2 of his, 2
absolutely.
of mine to crack. So maybe somehow we can stream that live while being socially distanced, responsible,
All right.
um, covered in disinfectant at a safe distance, and do that somehow.
I'm sure we can. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
sure we can.
live from the back of my coffee van or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's fine. Obviously, all the stores in Auckland are pretty much. Well, I can't. I don't think any of them aren't open for click and collect action. But if I know Auckland players, everyone has their pre-orders in, and we'll be waiting to pick those up as soon as they can on Friday. So yeah, expect well, I'm hoping to get my boxes on Friday. So I'm
And this
actually hoping that we could do.
Friday through Sunday, there is going to be a spate of case breaks videos because
Yeah,
there's like I know I've bought into at least two of four that Aaron Newson's doing. I know the guys down in Dunedin have got a couple of case breaks up and running. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time this
yeah.
weekend. Even with the weirdness of being in lockdown and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a shame that here in Auckland we're not going to be able to get into a store and actually get some games in.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping sometime in the weekend that I can crack all my cases on stream, and of course I'll have B because she loves opening packs. She goes in because usually when I open packs, what I do is I don't sort them immediately. What I do is I cut the tops off the pack, have a look and put them back in the box so they're ready for a later date. And B loves that. But every time I bring a box home, she's very eager to she's got the addiction even though she can't play yet. She loves to crack the packs, so that's going to be really exciting.
Excellent. All right. Okay, so that probably leads us into what?
Into season 2.
Yeah, into season two. Let me. So scoreboard is where we're at. So as people know, we have been in lockdown for the last 2 weeks, so we have not had a chance to bring the scores any different. So it's a little bit of a climactic
Yeah,
lead in. So I'm just going to bring up the final score of season two. Ian 31, Alan 28. So close. Imagine what
yeah.
2 weeks you're within tasting distance of getting
I,
it,
I am.
but it
I feel really happy because season 1 was really a bit of a drubbing, but
oh,
I feel like I managed to just I mean you got ahead, but I managed to keep you within striking distance. I mean the other
yeah.
problem is that
To
you
be
got to play
fair,
Road
though,
to Nationals. Pardon?
yes, I did. But to be fair, you kind of didn't stick to the punishment from last season.
No,
Uh,
no. Well, we'll get on
and
to.
so with that, because a lot of your wins came from drafts, and
Yeah, they did.
a lot of those wins you did not draft Viscerai. So I let's just get straight into the punishment for season two. I am making this more of a punishment for you.
Ooh.
So you can't get around what you did, but I'm giving you a little bit of lenience because I'm 2-0. I'm feeling a bit confident. Plus the punishment for season 3 is going to be big, and I want actual genuine stakes on the line. I want you to have a shot at winning because when I tell you what we're playing for in season 3, I think you're going to be. I think you're going to. I don't know.
Are we
You may be excited.
are
You
we
might.
gonna are
You,
we gonna
you,
unveil? Are you gonna unveil that tonight, or are we gonna leave it for the start of
yeah,
season 3?
no, I'm gonna unveil maybe not how we're running exactly how we're running season 3, but I am gonna unveil the punishment of season 3. So
Okay, all right. Well, let's do season 2 punishment first.
all right, so here it is. Much like for winning season 1, I am going to choose what you have to play in season 3, but you didn't stick to it in season 2. So I'm going to give you slightly more parameter, but still a challenge. For draft, for blitz, you have to play a new character. You cannot play any of the 8 characters from Welcome to Wraith or Arcane Rising. So that means you either have to play Betty, you either have to play KO, you have to play the Merchant, which could be cool at Blitz. I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say Ira in there, or the Shapeshifter, or Kasai. So yeah, in draft or in Blitz events, you have to play Crucible of War characters.
Yeah, I will take this punishment as being lenient because I'm all behind. I feel like this season, Ian, we're going to be all in on Blitz more than Classic Constructed. And I want to do all 5 of the heroes.
Don't forget that is also going to be a pit fight as well. So anything that has a young hero, you can't play Welcome to Wraith or Arcane Rising.
Well, that's fine because I feel like we're going to play a lot of Blitz UPF as well, since that just seems perfectly suited.
Cal says, "Can I volunteer as a stand-in for Alan if he can't make an event Ian's play and makes it fair FedEx?" No. Well, are you?
Yes.
Are you willing? Well, hang on, Cal. Are you willing to take the same restrictions? That means you can't play Guardian. Let's see if he comes back with an answer for that.
Yeah, you say like that. Cal just Cal can do anything, man. Cal can do anything. Well, don't be hassling my man there. That's terrible.
All right. So should we talk about season 3 a little bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, you haven't told me this already, and you said it's pretty exciting.
Yes and no. I haven't told you. We've kind of talked about this in the past, but not as a punishment. And something. Well, hang on. Here's a response from Cal. It's like, I will play whatever if you tell me to. All right. We'll consider it. Maybe not once I unveil what the punishment for season 3 is, because it is a doozy. We are stepping it up. We are something that was brought up when we were in Wellington. We were talking about it at the share house that I was with Marnie and the Nelson boys and Ash and Matt Rogers. Is that there's a lot of fandom. There are a lot of people who are buying into Flesh and Blood. We've seen a lot of stuff. We've seen down in Wellington. We saw some Tamisi, who's using his altered art Katsu and Kadachi's, which are really cool. We've seen obviously creators. We've got podcasts. We've got we've got lore videos. We've got insight videos. It's been really cool. And a lot of buy-in. A lot of people spend a lot of money on this game. A lot of people are backing this game like it's going to be around for a while. You and I both believe in this game. We both believe this is something special. One of the things that was brought up over the weekend is that no one's gone that step further with their fandom yet and got a fab tattoo.
I feel like you are.
I am putting it out there. the punishment for the loser of season 3 is that they have to get a fab related tattoo.
Now, do I get to choose if I beat you? When I beat you, Ian, do I get to choose a tattoo, or can I have something like I don't break for Guardians or something like that?
It has to be. It has to be. It has to be fab related. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Let's. If you're happy for me to also pick what you get tattooed with, if you
Ooh.
want to put that out there, I mean, because I'm 2-0. I'm feeling pretty confident, Alan.
Well, I think maybe the winner has final say on it. They have to agree to because it
I tell
can't
you,
be just maybe you
I
can't just
tell
put
you what.
Katsu's initials on your wrist or something
Yeah,
like that.
I tell you what. How about this? How about the loser? The loser can present the winner with 3 options of what they're happy to get tattooed, and the winner picks of the 3 options that the loser is happy with.
All right. This I agree. I'm just working out maybe if I can get like hold on, where's my knuckles? If I can get like brute life across my knuckles or something like that.
Uh, uh,
Um,
Chris Bewley coming to us live from Korea says, "Lock me in." He says, "I'll get on your behalf of the loser if you ain't down."
no,
Let's
we're down to
be
this because
honest.
I'm gonna win. I'm throwing it
Alan,
out there.
because do you have any tattoos, Alan?
I don't have any tattoos. I do not.
Okay.
I am not. You are
I,
tattooed, but
I already have a tattoo that came from a competition, so
yeah.
I already have a dumpling on my
Ian's like,
shoulder
Ian's like,
that
totally.
that
This is easy. Whatever.
yeah, it came from a competition that I didn't even enter. So, so,
All right,
so
I'm brave enough. I'm brave enough. I'll even put 4 copper. I'll put 4 copper on the line. 4 copper on the line.
all right.
Shout out to Vault Games who did the unveiling of Cashin and had the what is it? They cut up the silver coin to give to pay
Get
for
four.
Cashin.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah. But let's
Again,
quick shout
yeah.
out to Chris Bewley as well. 7 Days of Flesh and Blood. Chris is, I believe, he has unfortunately left us. He is in another country.
He's
Um,
there at the moment, and probably very close to coming close to the end of his 2-week quarantine. That isolation from moving over there. So hopefully he hasn't gone absolutely stir crazy yet. I've seen some of his mukbang egg cooking.
well,
So
I kind of hope Chris both stays and goes because Chris will hopefully do a great job over in Korea, but at the same time it would be great to see him back in New Zealand again. But good luck. What does
no,
Kale say? How about you have to get each other's favorite tattooed on you if you lose? Well, that's certainly
because to be fair, that's just Reiner both ways, right?
I actually had one idea that's come to my mind. Is of course, a lot of people, like you can get like tattoos, kind of
Yeah.
this area is hold on. Kadachi 1, Kadachi 2. So like I mean like, I'm always
Not a Kadachi and a needle, maybe.
yeah. Oh God. Maybe I just get maybe I just go full hog and get like a full weapon set up one arm and down there. Everything but Dawnblade. Everything but Dawnblade. You'll never get there. There you go, Ian. You have to get that'll be a punishment. Not being a warrior player ever. You'll get me Dawnblade tattooed on my butt or something like that. Maybe cross maybe Dawnblade across here.
Yeah, no face tattoos. No, we're not. that is that's definitely no face tattoo.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
that's fine.
so folks, we are putting real stakes on the line for season 3. So definitely keep following us. And yeah, this is going to mean some serious stuff. We're gonna have to work out exactly when we're gonna run the season 2 because it is a bit of time between Crucible and Monarch coming out. So I'm not sure if we're gonna run the whole the whole length, or if we set another time date for season 3. But
Well,
yeah,
hopefully, Ian, what we can do is maybe our original Blitz event that we were going to run at Hobby Master Entertainment Center before Crucible came out, obviously had to be cancelled. Hopefully, we can actually just maybe we can use that event as like the kickoff for our season, because of course, it'll be fully powered Blitz to take off. So yeah, we'll look into that. We're just hoping to get out of lockdown first. Brett Rogers, yep, Brett. Dawnblade tattoo, yeah, definitely. All right. So I suppose the next step is leading from season 2, season 3 is taking a moment to talk about Radio Reflex and ask the audience. Well, there's a few of you watching it live. Hopefully, obviously, there's more people that watch it later on. Is about the future, because at the moment we are now the longest running Fab podcast, 25 episodes.
Admittedly, we did get called out on the fact that we haven't actually uploaded a podcast version of the podcast since mid-July. Hopefully that will change from tonight. Let me just quickly tweak down with this camera. I just got this flash new Manocaster Kickstarter bundle that came in. So I am hopefully, if this is working right, I am recording the podcast as we're doing the YouTube. So hopefully this should go straight up afterwards. But yeah, looking for we definitely want to do a bit more. We have seen Session Blood. They've definitely stepped up their game with the quality of the production and stuff like that. Of course, we are just two guys that don't really know what we're doing. So we are going to look at stepping it up. And we're looking for suggestions. We want to see what people want out of the podcast. Do you want us to continue to do these live YouTube and upload the audio? Would you like us to just record so we can do a bit more production, so we don't have like what happened with our spoiler last week where we're fumbling to share screens? Or if there is someone who wants to step in and help us produce, who has got a bit more technical nous and do the back end and make it look a little bit more flash while we're doing it, please reach out to us here at Radio Reflex. We'd love to bring someone on board that'll help the production of the podcast be a bit more.
Yeah.
Now, you also had a thought about what you wanted to do.
Well, there's definitely a few things. So one of the things we'll be doing is we'll be setting up the Radio Reflex website soon. About to purchase a domain for Radio Reflex, and I want to turn that into like a community hub for podcasting. As we said at the beginning, we do this for the community, not the big bucks. So while we would like to be known as like the first pioneering, we would like people to remember we were. All right, Sasha was there first, but we've been consistently casting. Give us a few props. We really want to see all the other podcasts, and most importantly, a way for people to easily find it. So Radio Reflex, it'll be radioreflex.org or .co. Will be coming soon. I'm going to start work on it this week. And hopefully we can do a bit of content. I'm not gunning for Metrics Daily or FabDB, but we want to do our own thing and just support everybody. And one of the big things is, as I said, I was a little bit embarrassed by our spoiler thing because we had some technical difficulties. The internet wasn't running right. It just and the thing is, now that more people are coming on board with Fab, we as we talked earlier, we've got some really good contributors like Logan and Metrics Daily, Kirk and FabDB, Dead Summer Arts, people like Dice Commando, who else? DM Amada, Red Zone Rogue, Team Covenant. I mean, it's hard to beat Team Covenant, and I really feel we still want to be here in 50 episodes, 75, 100. So yeah, we're just going to try and bring up our game. It was acceptable early on. We were feeling our way, and we're still feeling our way because we're both full-time jobs. Got a family, but I don't know. We want to make Radio Reflex. Like in 10 years' time, we can look back on real pride on what we did. Hopefully, what we did for the community. If that's just bringing to helping people pass the time while they're stuck in traffic on the podcast, or maybe getting that one extra person to an event.
And playing alternate formats.
Yeah, playing. I mean, the real reason me and Iain did this podcast is so we could find alternate formats until we find one that we're the best at, and then just stick with that. Until people get better at it than us. This is why I like Pauper. We're like, we can be real good. We're starting off the format. Of course, Jason and Henry proved us wrong on the very first event. But yeah, props to them. So yeah, Radio Reflex website coming. Like Ian's, he's we're just going to step up our production values, spend some more money of ourselves. I don't think we have any intention to do any kind of paywall. Maybe we could do a Patreon at some step, something down the line. But yeah, we just, I suppose at the moment, we just want to bring our production values up. So if we do something like that, it'll be well deserved if people follow us.
Yeah, totally. Alrighty, I think that is us. We are just shy of an hour here, Alan. Unless you have a Kurt's corner.
Well, I don't know. We could quickly talk briefly about the wrestling takeover. Yeah. You pummeled me on the results. I think all of them basically.
All but I believe we both got Pat McAfee wrong, but
yeah.
That's neither here nor there. And I didn't get the tag team, but everything else was.
Well, I didn't get the tag team. I didn't get the tag team either, so that was cool. So that was pretty cool. Bad news that Karrion Kross might be injured after his match with Keith Lee.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, and we've seen it before. We saw it with Finn Balor when he won the Universal title, and then had to vacate it the next day on Raw, and he never really got back in the picture. I mean, I think he had one rematch down the road that they kind of just squashed him in, but yeah. So I hope this isn't a huge hurdle for Karrion Kross. It'd be a real shame because obviously we saw on Monday night. The other part of my prediction, we saw Keith Lee has joined Monday Night Raw and straight into a feud with Randy Orton of all people. So
that's pretty cool.
Which is great to see for the man himself. Big Keith Lee fans, both of us. So looking forward to it.
But the other big thing is SummerSlam happened on the Monday. Well, Sunday there, Monday with us, and it was actually a really good pay-per-view. That was a sick bump by Asuka. Bump.
That powerbomb to the outside. I thought for sure she was done for, but I was really happy with that match. I would almost go as far as saying that was match of the night. Really interesting. Also, if you notice that the Drew McIntyre Randy Orton match, neither of them hit their finisher.
So, well, they tried. None of them connected.
And none of them connected. So that was won by a backslide by Drew, which I thought was great, and it leads into extending that feud on, which I think is good because I think a one and done just really wouldn't have given justice to that feud.
Yeah, well, I mean, Randy's on fire at the moment. Randy's putting in some of his best work, and the Thunderdome was really good. But I mean, the big thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that Roman Reigns came in and obviously assaulted the Fiend and Braun Strowman. And the thing that we've always wanted out of Roman is just to be a badass who doesn't need to say much because he can't do great promos, but the t-shirt, what was it? His t-shirt, beat everyone and leave or something like that.
Wreck everyone and leave. Which It's a little bit of a callback to the old Stone Cold arrive, race, hell, leave t-shirt, which I
But
thought was
this is a badass that Roman Reigns should have been. Like, I hope he doesn't have the vest. They change his theme music.
yeah.
God, give him Paul Heyman.
Well, who knows? Who knows
But yeah,
we'll get with that. But yeah, no, looking forward to it. But yeah, no, good times. I actually felt like for a while that it was actually the best sort of um, showing for a long time. So I was happy with that, and we've got another pay per view this weekend. Payback, weird 1 week 1 week after each other.
What?
So I'll be probably getting home from work, sorting out Crucible cards while watching Payback.
Yeah, well, I won't complain. I've got the network, so yeah, more wrestling I can watch, the better. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, good weekend for WWE. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to say about Kirk's Corner today.
Yeah.
I suppose final thing is for all of you on the stream and those of you that will watch it later on. Thank you for being with us for 25 episodes. Oh, and
Yeah.
on the sorry.
Yeah, quarter of a century. This was kind of where my batting average when I played high school cricket. This is around about the mark that my average was at 25.
Yeah.
Get some quick wins.
Quarter century. Yeah. So just thank you. We've met some fans. Yeah, people listen to us. People listen to us.
Actual fans in Wellington. We actually legitimately signed autographs for one of our fans down in Wellington, which was really cool. Yeah, and we look forward to seeing everyone, or seeing as many of you as possible at nationals, and moving forward in the future when international travel gets back up and running. I have a voucher for some international travel that I have to use before the end of 2021. So hopefully, maybe get to see some of you live in the future. But yeah, things are looking great. We are looking forward to Crucible this weekend. We hope that you pull everything you want for your class. And yeah, we will be looking forward to seeing the plethora of case breaks and box openings that are sure to come out this weekend.
May you only open foil majestics.
Final from Chris here. Thanks, gents. The longest running episodic weekly fab cast of all time. That is correct.
No, that's all time. All time.
He is the man that knows how to pitch what we're selling. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Wash your damn hands. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next week.
See ya.